Yeah, and hopefully we'll be getting into game in just a second here, as we've got a Demon Days map, something that we've actually
Oh,
seen quite a bit of here. Bit of a mosh pit in the center. Always love to see it, especially with a lot of these players coming out picking their brawler picks.
yeah, and looking at, Demon Dice as a whole, it is considered the honestly the brawl map, right? You pick the brawl characters and you beat the other team up, and whoever whoever does it best wins, right? So definitely looking towards seeing some sort of kill comp from the drafts.
Yeah, and actually an interesting band that maybe I want to talk about, the Rune. I think that's targeting Kiliast, who's kind of been picking up the Rune goalie recently, following Gumi as another Western goalie to play the pick. What are your thoughts about it on this map?
Well, look, I think there are very few great goalies on this map, and Rune, he wouldn't be anywhere on my list. But who knows? Like, they depends on when we get into the match, what we might see from some of these starting awakenings, because it could have been something like Monumentalist or Hotshot. He might not want, you might not want to play against that in this game.
Yeah, and it looks like you're right. A cast to last start, probably something that'd be pretty strong on the Rune goalie, able to extend that banish. But for now, we'll see someone get absolutely dashed into the wall by a Juliet combo. A classic start.
And you know what's interesting to me? Naka not playing the era with cast to last start. So that I mean I would imagine that this would kind of be his time to pick it, since he's kind of the era guy. If you think about all the people in this game, is like Palmy just absolutely knocked him off the map there with that dash punch.
Yeah, already the Juliet murdering coming out, and absolutely not going to sugarcoat it whatsoever. 2 kills on the board for Palmy.
Yeah, not gonna sugarcoat it indeed. We are using our Fiery Fist Flying Phoenix combo, hitting people off the map as that barrier has fallen. Snake popping the ultimate, pushing it through, popping his core flip, and getting our first goal of the game already. What a turnaround.
Yeah, and we mentioned it earlier, but it is a mosh pit. We've got 4 KOs, about 1 KO every 15 seconds, meaning there's about 3 seconds where everyone's actually alive. So looking to see a bit more action coming out from these two teams.
Yeah, and Fudgy Waffles throwing that Magic Maelstrom forward, just trying to get some sort of value out of it, as Snake now cracked, getting hit with a Bewitching Beam into the Fiery Fist combo. Apalmi tack it up, +1 to that total, as the Naka fighting here in the midfield as Apalmi once again showing why Julius, a very fun and interactive character, he's got that barrier. As Gilly is fighting for his life here. Snake popping the ultimate just to try and get the core forward as Fudgy Waffles hits it bottom shelf, and hey, 1-1.
I feel like everything so far has just been a blur. I've just been watching the health bars of both teams go up and down really quickly. Oh man.
Health bars go up and down indeed, but you know what? Kilius has the advantage with that Celestial Intervention that he does have. I don't even know if I've seen it pop yet. I could be completely wrong, as that is Bluefoo playing behind his net, passes it up to Naka. Somehow, I don't know why we'd hit it directly into him, but you know what? Fudgy Waffles popping the core flip, getting their barrier and his own, as Kilius dropping the Celestial Intervention, saving Snake from getting Flame Fury off the map, as Snake now in the center here, playing, perma-small gameplay, as you do against Era when they do have cast to last, as Bluefoo hits it down to a Palme. Palme using that evasive, dodging the Bell Ringer from Snake, as Kilius gets this forward with the strike shot. Has a lot of room and space here, as, oh my god, Snake managing to get a kill out of Palme, and core flips it from Kilius' core flip into that top shelf. Bluefoo not able to get there in time with that barrage.
Yeah, a really nice passing play between the two forwards here of Auction Overdrive. Able to get it before Bluefoo could really react. That panic barrage really the only thing that he was able to do. Unfortunately, not enough. And yeah, going back to the era pick coming up from Fudgy Waffles, I am really curious as to why Naka chose to avoid it. Do you think it's because Demon Days being like a really kill-heavy map, you actually want a bit more damage? But I think that Castellas kind of negates it a bit.
Yeah, it's really interesting, right? Because Snake obviously picking the X, because you do have that Castellas, as Fudgy Waffles bit of a miscommunication from Helios and Naka, both playing the same side of the net there as he shoves it up to the top of the map. But you know, you think about it, right? You think about what Snake has to offer with that cast to last. But I guess you could make an argument that maybe because you're playing Demon Eyes, maybe you want the direct for the extra damage from with that Molten Bolt. But I'm not too sure myself. As Snake just popping that X Maximus, you know, showing us why Castellast is so strong. Almost had the goal there, but Blueflu doing a great job of just winning that strike war. As Fudgy Waffles is going to get smacked off the map from Snake's Bellringer as Kilius playing in the back of his net. Comes to Naka. Naka trying to get up to the Snake. Palme doing all he can to stop that core as Snake just barely sending it too far into Blueflu, but it doesn't matter as Naka comes from the top. Hits it right back into Snake, and Snake's going to win that strike war to send us into our first carousel.
Oof, yeah, and an excellent performance coming out from Ghost Esports to take out that really, really close first set. We're going to see what things we get here in the first draft. Tempo swing on the table. Quick Strike's infinite, notably. Unstoppable also there. Adren Rush, also good pickup, especially on Demon Days. We'll see what they opt into. And what do you know, we see that in the top left corner. What are your thoughts on Orb Replicator sans the other two? Because I feel like without the other Orb things to pick up, it actually goes a bit down in value.
You know what? You know what I think? If it's the first carousel like it is now, and you're the goalie, and you're looking at the other things, and you go, "Well, I don't really think anything's gonna work out for me." Picking up that Orb Replicator could come in handy, especially since you are playing a map. You know, you are playing Demon Eyes, the Brawl Stars map. Healing your team and potentially picking up something like Orb Ponder when you have Snake and Naka, both characters who have great ults. As Blueflu almost lets that one slide in. Just barely saves it, but it doesn't matter. Snake in the middle of three people shoves that one into the bottom.
Yeah, and it looks like the damage composition out from inside of Go Esports is coming online. We actually saw that a really brief flash there at the beginning of the set. I saw a vicious fan brace on Juliet and a draining wad on Era. What are your thoughts of those two picks?
I think if we're picking I don't know. I would never. I think you just take the Mag Souls. I could be completely wrong. I'm not an Era player, but I feel like you kind of pick the Mag Souls if you're Fudgy Waffles, or you just don't pick Era at all, right? Because maybe you want some more damage. But I guess that's what we got to live with as Palme fighting for his life here. Just barely doing all he can to stay alive. Is going to get this orb here, but Kilius using that Atlas Primary to shove it forward. Almost gets in the net, but Blueflu doing the best he can just to keep it out. Back to Fudgy Waffles, Celestial Confession being dropped just to kill Snake up. Sitting in this frontal area as Fudgy pops the core flip. Kilius popping his own core flip. Fudgy and Apalme putting so much pressure on Kilius. He can't do anything here. Almost dead himself as Snake gets Apalme cracked. Kilius almost goes into the back of his own net. Snake popping the X Maximus, puts it on Fudgy Waffles. Blueflu popping the core flip, goes right to Kilius. Naka up there, not able to do anything even while invisible in that Xeno cloak, and Snake just needs to win a strike war here. Can't get it as this round's going on a little longer than, you know, one would have considered, considering all the low stagger bars we saw at that start.
Yeah, definitely, and we saw almost a goal opportunity from Snake. I think he just interrupted the dribble. I think Blueflu interrupted the dribble a little bit, but we'll see how it goes out. We've actually seen the KOs kind of slow down a little bit.
Oh, and Snake popping that core flip. You know, hey, it's going to go somewhere in your net. You kind of have to 50-50 it when you don't have any cooldowns. I would imagine Blueflu had nothing there. So you either walk up or you walk down. He walked in the center and lost both of them. You know, as Fudgy Waffles here on this bottom side, go back to Blueflu. Blueflu pushing it forward. Apalme cracked already. Does have a bunch of bars, though. Able to work with, you know, a lot of his evasive here. Picks up the core flip. Snake probably going to get him to pop it. Ooh, wow. I just watched Snake's health bar go from 100 to 0 in 2 seconds. As I don't even know what hit him, but I imagine the full force of Goat Esports hit him with that as Blueflu hits him off the map even while he's in his ultimate. Blueflu in the back here, passing it to Fudgy Waffles while Kilius walking forward, hitting it back to Naka. Blueflu running forward. He's passing the yeesh line out here.
Yeah, it's something I really like to see from goalies in this map is that aggression. I mean, with how claustrophobic things could get, having that extra strike when mosh pit does kind of form is super useful to have.
Yeah, so especially when you're, you know, you're playing something that it's really just useful on this map considering how tight those back areas are and how you're still going to brawl when the core comes to them. And you want to be able to catch both sides as Naka pops his core flip, and I guess he forgot to hit it. Maybe a little distracted. You know, maybe a guy a text on his phone, maybe a phone call. I don't know what it was, but definitely missed.
Yeah, I think he was stopping to smell the roses, maybe enjoy the music out from Demon Days as we get into our second draft here. And Big Fish built different extra special all on the table. Snake opts for the chrono boost, actually. Interesting.
Now, one thing that can come from that chrono boost is he already has cast. So chrono and cast together, he's going to get the longest ult known to man from his X. And that's definitely going to get him some barriers.
He's got quick strikes too, doesn't he? I feel like he's going to be punching a lot of people very, very soon. He's gonna
do what X do best. He's gonna do what X do best. He's gonna start punching some people, breaking down that stagger bar. Look at him go. He's just running through the field. He's not even focusing one person. He's just hitting anyone he could see. He is gone. His vision's gone completely red, and nothing. Head empty, thoughts empty. Only thing he knows is the punch, but punch he can't as Fudgy Waffles using that magic maelstrom, taking Kilius off the map. I don't know, maybe he forgot to press the Q button on his keyboard as BlueFlu runs forward past the Yeesh line, hits that one bottom shelf, and picks up a point for his team in, you know, a situation where they need some points as they're down 2 sets already.
Yeah, and at this point, I feel like getting a kill onto Kilius is a pretty good way to kind of get these Hail Mary puts. You're not getting through this X. As we see again, he punches all right off cooldown and just starts sweet. BlueFlu probably gonna end this match with a bit of a black eye and a bloody broken ribcage.
Yeah, Snake walking forward, popping that X Maximus. Every time he has it up, that's all he's doing. Look at him. He is not even playing back. He does not care what's going on behind him. He has full trust in his teammates just to get the core to him, but oh my god, he almost died there, saved by the bell as BlueFlu. I'm not sure if he walked too far to the left and that barrage didn't connect, but whatever it was, you know, Divine Intervention comes out, saves them as Fudgy Waffles is getting X Maximus off the edge, X go punch, and he is on the receiving end of that as the Palme has core flip here and hits it right into Kilius. Could have aimed for the top shelf, but you know what? It's okay. Kilius popping his own core flip there, getting a little nervous in his net. And you know what? Nervous I would be too. That one looked like it might go past him as Naka popping his own core flip. And once again, stopping to smell the roses a little bit. But you know what? It's okay because, my god, it's not okay. As the core comes back and Apalme down to Fudgy Waffles and Kilius not able to get that expanse up. And that goes into the bottom of the map.
Yeah, and even though Good Seed Sports, or sorry, Oxygen Overdrive are down 2-0, it's still very comebackable. I like the mentality that Snake had. Back when he barely got saved by the Divine Intervention, no hesitation, just came back and cast in an ability trying to kill it. And look at that! Murder, murder, death, blood. Snake is on a roll right now.
Yeah, and Snake taking Demon Dice very literally, becoming the demon himself on the field here as he is on a rampage. Anything in his sight is going to get smacked as BlueFlu has absolutely nothing to work with here. No evades, but is going to try and run forward, and Fudgy Waffles losing that 50-50 to Snake. Snake just a little bigger, you know, because he's X, and smacks that into the top of the net, picks up another point for his team.
Yeah, excellent work from Snake, doing exactly what X does best, sitting right in front of the net and dealing all that damage. BlueFlu having to like play really scared just to even give Snake the respect that his his awakenings make him deserve.
Fudgy Waffles using that Bewitching Beam, smalling Snake, but Snake doesn't care. He's going to sit on BlueFlu this entire game as Kilius in the back here, but Apalme is saying, hey, we want to win a set, as he manages to get both barriers by himself. Fudgy Waffles sitting here in the center trying to get something going. Small Snake, but Snake gonna run behind, grab BlueFlu's orb, but BlueFlu says, hey, that one's mine, and it barrages him off the map. Naka does have core flip here, is gonna use to get both barriers. Back to Kilius, Kilius dribbling in his own net, up to Naka. Naka using the multiple to keep it forward, and oh my god, Kilius almost stole that one with his primary. Doesn't get through though, as Palme has the Adrenaline Rush, which I don't even remember him picking up. Core flips after getting the kill on Snake. It shows it right past Kilius. Kilius not able to get that expanse out fast enough. and they have won a set. That's
Whoa.
pretty big.
Yeah, just in a flash. I mean, that adrenaline rush providing so much value, especially to Juliet, who, that cooldown refresh means that she could just go and kill you again. It's really, really crazy, earning Apolme the MVP here, and I'm interested to see what he picks up here. Oh, and it's Twin Drive Infinite.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Yeah. We're a bit more. I think our casting duo has been spared a little bit. We luckily didn't roll the twin drives on Oni Village. Demon Days able to accelerate the game maybe a little bit, especially with the specialized training coming out from Palmy. Maybe he'll be able to force a lot of respect from Kilius coming into this fourth set.
Yeah, and Palme having actually a pretty good, well-rounded Julie build right now. He has Glass Cannon built different, Adren Rush, and that Specialized now. So his ult's going to do a lot of damage, and if he gets one of those kills, he's going to able to keep it going as Blue Flu hitting it back to Apalme. And look how far forward Blue Flu is playing. He is on a mission, but Apalme off the map from Snake. Maybe he committed a little too hard to that mission, as now Snake sitting in front with this core flip is gonna... He doesn't even need it. Naka stealing the goal with his Molten Bolt as Snake hit that one into the top shelf.
Yeah, and as we get into these later rounds with more damage trainings coming out, we're definitely going to see Chaos being capitalized a little bit harder. Hopefully Snake will be able to find something, but if Apalme finds something, it's basically at least one guaranteed barrier down with that man advantage and the Adrenaline Rush.
Yeah, and even while being down, they're still getting these barriers, as both barriers gone from the side of Oxygen Overdrive, as Blue Flu missing the Giga, as Naka sitting here in this top shelf is going to get healed a little bit by that Celestial Intervention. Fudgy Waffles with the ball all by himself, has a lot of room here to work with, don't know if he has speed. Oh my god, the Blue Flu and Apalme, excellent job taking down Snake with their abilities. Fudgy Waffles using that Bewitching Beam on the invisible Teemo, as Apalme uses that Flame Fury to shove that one into the top of the net.
Yeah, excellent coordination from the side of Goats Esports, able to coordinate that kill and use that mana advantage. I mean, we saw how far Blue Flu was playing up. In something like Demon Days, where something like that is just super, super effective, I'm wondering if Oxygen Overdrive will actually be able to deal with this.
Yeah, and Snake right now sitting on top of Blue Flu. He is owning the map. As Naka now having Core Flip has a lot to work with here. Fudgy having his own though, so is going to pop it here, going to go right back to Kilius, knocking popping his. Fudgy Waffles winning that 50 in front of him. Blue Flu with a lot of health, and Snake once again very low, as Apalme using that Flame Flurry to push that one. Fudgy Waffles almost has it. Kilius having to pop that Core Flip. Apalme doing everything in his power to hit it directly into Kilius there. Is Kilius going to throw that Atlas primary, keeping the ball forward. Blue Flu hitting it up. Naka invisible says, hey, I'm here to catch it, as they now have an advantage as Apalme once again off the map. Ooh, Blue Flu almost stole that one with a Giga. Back to Naka. Naka using that lock and load, pushing it past Blue Flu and picking up one more point to make it match point.
Yeah, and we see again Apalme spawning back in after the goal has been sent in. The conversion off of getting a KO very, very high in this game.
Yeah, and I mean, look, that's Demon Dies in general, right? You play to kill people. If you kill people, you open up so much space on the map, because you're able to play someone on the top side of the field and someone on the bottom side of the field and not have to worry so much about winning your 50s, because you know realistically you're only fighting one person, since the goalie is going to be playing more behind just to try and catch it. As Blue Flu popping his Core Flip, going right to that back barrier. Fudgy Waffles doing everything in his power just to keep this one forward. A Snake going to steal Blue Flu's orb. Kind of hungry for it, as Naka lock and loads Apalme off the map. Naka then going to pop his Core Flip as this Atlas primary comes through. Not going to get anything out of it, as Blue Flu and Fudgy Waffles doing such a great job right now, keeping their barrier intact. And Fudgy Waffles popping that evasive earlier, but
Whoa.
Snake too big for the game, as he forces his way to getting both of those barrier down, and now this net is open. Match point. Naka invisible isn't going to be able to get it, and Snake a little too low here to be able to contribute, but he's still sitting here. He's thrashing Fudgy around, and Blue Flu hitting this one up so much because he does not want that one going to Snake, but Naka going to pop the lock and load from the invisibility, trying to get it to Snake as much as possible. Snake going to sit in here, pop the bell ringer, pops the dash, isn't able to get anything from it. Oh my god, but that was almost it, as Blue Flu doing a great job of just hitting it away. He does have core flip to work with here, but it might not get to him. Ooh, saved by Fudgy.
I feel
Snake
like
now has his core flip. Oh,
oh,
hey, we didn't see it. We
hey,
weren't looking.
Yeah, it was wow, valiant defense from the side of Goatee Sports. Unfortunately, Snake masterfully puts that in. I was gonna say that we almost had a bit of a Garfield moment. Snake right there in prime position to score, but not using his core flip. But didn't matter in the end. Snake able to put it in, get past the defense of Ghost Esports as game 1 concludes. And look at that damage from Snake, 46,000 damage, 7 KOs, 7 goals. What a game from Snake, getting a lot of really great awakenings on the X and just able to send Goats Esports just back in, basically into the hospital with his performance.
Yeah, and really, really what it is, if you're playing, if you're Snake, you have the chrono and the cast. So you're able to sit on them the entire round, and then picking Atlas doesn't actually feel so bad, right? Because normally where you would get some extra damage for picking something like Kai, Estelle, maybe Vice if you want to have some fun, you lose out on that when you pick the Atlas. But instead you kind of get that defensive, so Snake being able to put those damage numbers really, really honestly carries his team. I'll be the one to say he's hitting all 3 people at once. He's getting barriers 24/7. It's prime for him to win that game.
Yeah, absolutely. He was definitely just in a perfect position to create just a ton of pressure on Blueflu. And I feel like a lot of the aggression that we saw on the side of Blueflu was actually just kind of desperation, trying to get goalie barriers whilst playing ahead from the X, so that he could save his own skin from X's boxing gloves.
Yeah, and that's definitely something you got to consider when you do pick something like Kai and you see the X, you see the Drek. It's really difficult to defend unless you high roll, maybe prime time, maybe rapid fire. One of those two will help you a lot. I guess hot shot, but for the most part, you're gonna want to be throwing your abilities on people just to give your team that little bit of oomph that they might need to get some of those kills. And honestly, even though it ended 3-1, it was a decently close match. There were a bunch of barriers broken from both sides in most rounds, and it really just came down to who was able to execute the most on scoring the goal. And
Yeah.
obviously, Oxygen Overdrive being the victors of that with Snake.
Yeah, and we'll see if that ends up getting switched up here as we get into game 2 just in a second, I believe. Hopefully with maybe if we don't roll Demon Dies, we'll be able to see a more core controller composition coming out from either team. Maybe we'll be able to see these two teams in a different context. But let's see what we get.
Yeah, definitely hoping maybe seeing some Estelle, maybe seeing something else. Ooh, Night Market. My favorite map in the game. I love Night Market. I think it's really fun to play on.
Interesting.
And also KO heavy.
Yeah, I could definitely agree. The kind of the center part of the stage, pushing everyone kind of naturally to the sides, allows for a lot of quick edge kills if you aren't too careful. Vice Band coming out from the side of Oxygen Overdrive. Actually, interestingly, Zentaro coming out here. I'm wondering if there are good awakening starters for him. But just in general, what are your thoughts on Zentaro? I feel like a lot of players think that he's really strong, but a lot of them also think that he's really, really weak. Recently receiving a small buff to his ultimate. Oh, and it looks like we aren't seeing Zentaro, so maybe never mind. But Naka back on his signature era pick coming to this game. We'll see how this goes.
Does look like we are going to get a mirror matchup, so I am curious on what are the starting awakenings, as Naka opting not to pick the Drek. So maybe something swapped around, but I don't know, right? He even with Castellast, which Era probably one of her best in slots, wasn't there. It does look like we get Super Surge, Peak Performance. What are your thoughts on that, Brickbat?
I'm actually a little interested on the value of Super Surge on Era. Yes, it does increase the value of your spacebar by making you run faster, but that 20% damage buff is a little bit wasted, and Peak Performance is actually not that bad on Era. Era having a pretty high stagger, able to take advantage of those stagger-based trainings quite well. So I'm wondering how those will match up coming into this game.
Yeah, Era's sitting on what I believe is tier 2 of stagger. Not the highest, but just directly below in terms of her health bar. So she could definitely get a lot of value out of that peak performance. But obviously Super Surge you pick just to help your team out as a Palme gets that bottom barrier. Tries to throw out the Fiery Fist, maybe get something as, oh my god, Snake popping the core flip, knocking Fudgy Waffles off the map. Dear god, as Naka using the Bewitching Bee, but Naka
Oh,
himself gonna get knocked off the map with that Super Surge from a Palme. Blue Flu does have his core flip here, and Kilius popping his own, but a Palme reading exactly where it's gonna go. A Palme popping his own, hitting that one to the top of the net, and we got our first point on the board.
yeah, absolutely well played from Apame, just absolutely reading Kilius, just like fine piece of literature basically coming out, getting his degree. Absolutely well played from him as we get into this second set. Blue Flu with core flip notably.
Yeah, as Blue Flu hits this one up to Fudgy Waffles. Fudgy Waffles, I don't know where we were going with that one. Maybe trying to get him to walk up pop, but we hit it directly into Kilius in this bottom as a Palme sitting staggered on this bottom part of the map. Snake lurking in this middle, trying to grab the speed over and over as Blue Flu having a bit of a moment. I don't know what happened there. We're shooting for the air, but Fudgy Waffles using this Bewitching Beam, trying to get something out of it as it comes back to Blue Flu. Blue Flu with all the time and the space here in the world, able to get this one through. No longer has this barrage, so if Snake can get it through. A Palme kind of bailing him out with that Flame Flurry, though. Able to get this one in check as a Palme gets another kill racked up on the board, but they lose the barrier in the process as Fudgy Waffles needs to get this one past Kilius. Kilius popping the barrage, popping the core flip, and oh my god, I didn't even know where that one's going.
I get a tornado warning as a result of that.
Yeah, I don't know where that core flip was going, but I know where this one is. Snake firing fisting it right into the net. Picking up one more first team.
Yeah, and I'm wondering actually, did I don't know, I wasn't able to tell just from the dash punches alone. Did Snake go Super Surge? I don't know if he did. I wonder if he went in.
From what I have seen, yeah, that's definitely. I think that's Super Surge. It might not be. I'm pretty sure it's Super Surge though. I think both Julies have. Yeah, both Julies have Super Surge. So
Yeah.
we are sitting in a Super Surge stocks environment as both Julies able to kill from the middle of the map. As Snake almost proving me right. Just barely not able to get a Palme there as Naka getting smalled from the result of Fudgy as Snake coming through. Snake absolutely eating that barrage, saying it's time for breakfast, maybe dinner actually, considering it's 6 o'clock where they are playing. And Snake, seeing the value of Super Surge, he was a little too raring to go as the Palme tells him, sit down, big man. Puts him in his place, which is off the map.
Man, yeah, I feel like talking about breakfast, Fury's trying to cook for his team, but burnt a little bit, costing him the point.
Speaking of burnt things, 3 members of Oxygen Esports in their own net. None of them able to get the ball though, as Go Esports pick up another point here.
And going back to the Super Surge Juliet, I feel like a lot of Juliet players really dislike this training. I was actually kind of shocked to see both Juliets opting into it. What are your thoughts?
So I've played a decent amount of Juliet with the new Super Surge, and for me, it messes up your kills when you're close to the edge. Because for whatever reason, the punch doesn't really like to come out often, and sometimes it does like a weird interaction where it kind of doesn't really hit them far and whatnot. So I wouldn't have taken it. I like peak performance, I like the speed, but you know what? I'm not the one playing, and clearly they're getting some value out of his Snake. Throws his core flip, but makes up for it using that Julie dash punch combo to shove him off the map there as Fudgy Waffle dead again in this game. You know what? As Blue Flu hitting this one to the bottom, gonna get gigged by Kilius. Kilius gigged it back up to the top side right into a Palme as Naka gonna try and sit in this midfield with these mag souls as a Palme gonna get smalled, and he's small for a while. Wow. Era Beam is something else as a Palme getting gigged away Kilius doing all in his power just to keep a Palme away from it as Fudgy drops the Magic Maelstrom, not going to get anything out of it. As Snake now on this bottom side in prime time. Blue Flu, no cooldown. Ooh, Blue Flu gonna lose that barrier. It's okay, he does have core flip. Pops the core flip, hits it up to Fudgy. Fudgy not able to get it in time as Blue Flu low in his net. Snake doing all in his power to try and kill him, knock him off the map. As Snake hits it bottom corner, 50-50 there from Blue Flu. Doesn't go for either one. Barely misses it with that barrage.
Oof, and just like that, we're 2-2 to set one. Hopefully, hopefully we'll get a good last point here as oh, whoa!
Wow! Snake off rip, getting the double trouble. Palme saying, "Oh my God! You know what? It didn't matter." Palme knocking Naka off the map, but Snake saying, "You know what? You can take him. I'll take the point." As he shoves the core into the net. We got ourselves a carousel.
Well, unstoppable first pick. I wonder what's going to happen with that one in a Juliet mirror. Yep, and as expected, we got that. It feels like our game is rewarding him for such excellent play by making him pick the training, the unstoppable training, allowing him to dash punch the enemy Juliet, but not get dash punch himself, which is a pretty big swing, I'd say, in that mirror.
And you know what another big swing is? We have double era infinite cast to last, as something I joked about is now coming into fruition. Both games actually having infinite cast to last, as Fudgy Waffles and Naka both going to make the enemy Juliet small, but Snake saying, "Hey, you can make me small, but I'll take you off the map," as a Palme getting this barrier. Oh my God, almost gets the second one. Kilius doing a nice job with that barrage, just keeping it away as Snake, he almost had the double trouble again, but just barely missing it, hitting it a little too far up, as the Palme getting that barrier with that dash punch is going to have the core flip here. Says, oh my God, he doesn't even need it, doesn't get it either, as he shoves it into the top. Kilius trying to hit, barrage the bottom side, doesn't get anything for it though.
Yeah, and Palme right there, yeah, breaking Kilius' ankles. The man is on the floor wheezing right now, trying to recover right now. Oof.
Yeah, ankle's broken for sure, as, he just lost 50, but you know who else just lost something? A Palme, as breaking ankles, he might, doing it too much. Maybe we should try and play our lives, as the Snake now hits it into Blue Flu. Blue Flu walking forward, keeping it, away from the barriers, as the Palme uses that dash punch, as,
whoa.
Whoa. We're getting a little feisty here as Daka popping the core flip and hitting it directly up and down, and up he goes off the map, as they could use this Flame Flurry just to keep the core away from his barrier, as Kilius needs to walk forward here. Kilius, you gotta walk forward, as Palme's just gonna sit there and react to it, and Blue Flu not letting his teammate cook, saying, "Hey, I kinda want that gold," digging it off, but Snake gonna pop the core flip after that dash punch, managing to kill a Palme, wins the 50. Giga Chad gameplay coming out from Snake, as he's standing in front of Blue Flu, and he is getting these barriers, but it might not matter as Blue Flu hits this one up to Fudgy. Fudgy in a great spot to score something, manages to use his Bewitching Beam on Kilius instead. Kilius getting to play the most fun part about playing against Era, being small. As this one does come back to Blue Flu, and Blue Flu hitting it up to Fudgy, coming to a Palme. Back to Snake. Snake gonna work this one forward to Blue Flu, and once again coming back to a Palme, but a Palme not able to get it past as that Magic Maelstrom comes in from Naka. Not really able to do anything with it, as Fudgy almost hits it past Kilius before he's able to get a strike back up, but Blue Flu walking past the yeesh line, making it the new Blue Flu line, which is the enemy's goal box, and gets a point for his team.
Yeah, I mean, being the red Kai, the enemy goalie gate is a bit blue, I'd say, so absolutely perfect positioning, I'd say, for Blue Flu going back to his home turf.
I need that one to never pop up again.
I try my best around here. You know what? They're punishing team for the sins. Yep, the double
sins
goalie
have been
gate.
punished, as both gates are knocked down. Blue Flu being a bit blue, not able to get it into the enemy's goal box, is Kilius walking up here, does have core flip, probably should decide to walk forward as Naka hitting this one to the bottom. Fudgy, all time in the world here, popping his core flip. Naka winning it forward, and Snake just barely missing the dash punch as he doesn't get that goal as it comes back to a Palme. Naka trying to hit it up as much as possible, keeping it away from a Palme as Palme shoving a Splice Super Surge, sends him super far as he's using it as movement and catches the core, hits it into the net. Kilius, we gotta clear it away from him.
Yeah, and you know what? You know what happens when you get your core flip energy? Turns the meter blue. That's my analysis, folks. That's it. Yep. Former Omega here, just able to show Stagger Swagger on the board, stacks on stacks, opted into from Blue Flute here, taking the Stagger Swagger. Other Kai taking the Stagger Swagger away from the other forwards. Chrono Boost coming out now. That Castellas Chrono Boost. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. The Stinger Juliet. Whoa. I guess they feel like the glass cannon isn't gonna do too much value. Juliet can't take advantage of Deadeye whatsoever, and I guess like you pick aerials. I mean, it's a bit of a Shaolin Shocker, showdown, but it might be a bit too much to handle. So I guess that's why they opted into it. A bit interesting, yeah. Juliet not a super great Stinger user.
I just feel like I would have loved the glass cannon here, considering you're going to be playing perma small gameplay as Snake working with Naka, getting both barriers, and Naka hitting this one up. Fudgy actually stopping it, getting it forward back to a Palme through the center as Kilius hitting this one up. Fudgy there to intercept it. Now has this Magic Maelstrom to work with. Ooh, Palme not able to get a touch on that core as Kilius strike shotting it back up to Snake. Naka hitting this one up to Snake. Snake popping the Flame Flurry, not able to get it through as a Palme pops the Flame Flurry himself. And once again, Kilius and Blue Flute doing an excellent job. Both of them, from what I understand, have CDR trainings and are able to pop their barrages a bit more than they're able to on their base cooldown. Fudgy Waffles uses that Bewitching Beam on Naka. Blue Flute throwing the Giga forward, and a Palme with the absolute ankle breaker. Does have the core flip, pops it out just a bit too early, but has the twin drive in Flying Phoenix. I don't even remember. He Flying Phoenixed himself twice there, and one of them shoved the ball into the net.
Yeah, Naka being sent in there. That's I think that's what we call in the Omega Strikes community an owning. I feel like Naka's been a little bit owned with that one. I was excited to see that one coming out. Yeah, he just punched him right into the net there. Love to see that. Oh, and he does it again.
Now, Palme being a big contributor as to why, obviously he's playing the Juliet, right? But he's an incredible contributor as once again, Kilius getting his ankle broken. Oh my god, and he misses the barrage there as Palme uses that Fiery Fist to get that top barrier. This Blue Flute now using his barrage to keep it forward for his team as much as possible. Snake and Palme both going to get this normal speed here as Fudgy Waffle comes in on this top side. Snake, ooh, he's getting there. He's hunting for some heads here as he wants to get Fudgy Waffles off the map. Is going to get a chance to do it here, but Palme putting a huge pressure on the net. Not able to get anything out of it, but the Magic Maelstrom going to force Kilius to walk downwards as Naka Stagger here is going to get his Stagger back. Not going to be cracked anymore. He's going to be safe from all his dash punches, but I lied. My fault, guys. We're playing a little too close to the edge as Kilius gets that barrier for free. He says, hey, I'm going to take it, as he's going to throw the Giga Blast towards Blue Flute, and Palme in a great position to dash punch. Forgot the core while he was doing it. His Snake has the core flip here. Not sure why he didn't use it. Bit of a Garfield moment. Might have been able to get the top part of it as a Palme punishing him for not using it at all.
Palme, the twin drive Super Surge Juliet is consistently catching me off guard here. But when he crossed up Kilius by just spacebarring just to get to the core faster, I'm starting to be a little bit of a believer here.
Yeah, and believer you may, as they only need 1 point to make this a a 2-1 game. They're really close, and considering how how more, I wouldn't say lopsided, but how more unwinnable the other match felt. They're doing great as Palme is just flying all over the map. Has the core flip here, isn't going to able to pop it as the core is just being kept away from him. Naka doing a great job keeping it away from him, but not doing a great job enough. Holds it. Oh my god, what happened there? And I'm not sure if people are going to understand. Fudgy Waffles popping the Bewitching Beam on a Palme just as he threw out that Fiery Fist. He got the extra size and shoved both of them with that extra impact damage into the net. and dear God, he
Yeah,
cooked.
he absolutely cooked. I mean, look at this. One Juliet on the left side of the draft, the other one on the right. I feel like there's a bit of a clear differential who's playing there. Apalmi absolutely playing out of his mind with the Super Search Juliet. I feel like he's really practiced those ranges. I feel like I've been just constantly shocked by his performance here. Absolutely well played from him. As we see an Adrenaline Rush actually come out, though, for Snake, potentially able to turn this tides despite not getting either side's training.
Yeah, and Adrenaline Rush gonna be the one thing that Snake has in his arsenal to try and pull the team forward. As you know, Adrenaline Rush, you get to become Car if you do get a kill. You get your cooldowns back. You get to, go with the speed of sound, especially on a map like Night Market where your only real gap is speed. It is probably their biggest way of winning, but you know what? It might not matter as Fudgy is going to sit and shrink Snake over and over with that Bewitching Beam. He's not going to be able to do anything in this game, and he just has to hope. He has to do a little bit of hope, and as Bluefoo uses that barrage, keeps it forward as Fudgy pops the Bewitching Beam. Apalme throwing the Fiery Fist out and gets that bottom barrier as it comes back to Bluefoo, back to Fudgy, and Apalme getting cracked by Snake, but before he does, managing to shove the core into the top of the net.
Yeah, and he's absolutely loving this dash combo, going for it yet again. I mean, it seems like Kilius is just not able to deal with Apalme's just unbridled aggression right now.
Yeah, Apalme is all over the place. He is there, but you know who else is not there? Fudgy Waffles, as Kilius uses that Giga Blast just to keep him off the map. Gets a nice kill for his team, gets the barrier now because of it. Might not be able to get the bottom one, but hey, we take what we can get as Naka tries to core flip it. Fudgy doing a great job of using that Magic Maelstrom. Doesn't pop it fully, but just enough. Ooh, and Killy is trying to save that bottom barrier. Not able to get the core flip out enough with the combined effort of Fudgy and Apalme just to get that bottom barrier. Now Apalme in a great position to cook as the top barrier does go down, and now it just needs to come to Apalme, and Apalme will make it work as Snake doing his best job using all of his cooldowns to keep it forward, but Bluefoo gonna drop the core flip, coming back to Naka. And now Fudgy almost getting his own barrier there. Whoa. We gotta be a little more careful there as it does go to the center, picks up that center speed, and almost gets that bottom barrier as Fudgy Waffles now trying to keep it forward. Naka throwing out the biggest Magic Maelstrom I've seen in a while as Fudgy uses his. Doesn't really get the same amount of value as Naka does from it though. As Snake now with a core flip. What? I don't know what happened there. I would have to imagine he Flame Flurried to pop the core flip, and then I think it Bluefoo barraged that, but unlucky. But you know what is unlucky? That pass from Naka to Snake for him to shove it into the top of the net. 50-50 there. Once again, you don't have the barrage. It's going to be what it's going to be.
Yeah, and I think what happened was that he caught the core with his Flaming Flurry, which stunned the core right in the location, so it means that the extra speed from the core trip really didn't do anything. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky. From my understanding, I do believe that he caught it and then Bluefoo popped his. Sorry, I had to think for a moment as I watched two members of Oxygen Overdrive use their core flip on air, and Apalme using the air to his advantage flies from the middle of the field into the net, really living up to his name, I guess.
Yeah.
Apalme. I don't know where I was going with that one.
Yeah, it was a palm tree combo, I think. Yeah.
Palm tree combo. He's using the palm tree combo to pick up kills for his team as I'm not entirely too sure what hit Naka there. I thought he was going off the map, but it might have been a Giga Blast from Bluefoo, saving his life, actually. Getting saved by the other team as he's so lucky not to be dead right now. Is Naka going to hit this one back up to Kilius. Palme going to hit it up to Fudgy. Fudgy has the core flip here, holds it,
Oh my gosh.
shoves it past, and now Bluefoo walking past the leash line, creating his own line once again. We're missing some core strikes here, but it's okay. Oh my god, but you know what isn't okay? Apalme getting taken off the map by Snake. Snake now having this adrenaline rush. Bluefoo with the core flip, if he so desires. Almost gets it through with Giga Blast.
Oh.
I think he forgot that he could be hit there. As once again, Snake has adrenaline rush. Taking Bluefoo off the map. Fudgy Waffles a little low here. Has to pick up that orb. This one's just kind of hitting the center over and over.
Well,
And
over.
this game is great.
I have, if I were Oxford Overdrive, I'd still be sweating about Apollo's performance. This man has been a murder machine for basically everyone. I think he's on a 6 KO streak right now, or oh, almost actually got Naka quite again. No dodge out. I would be sweating if I was Naka right now.
Yeah, Apalme being the sole driver as to why his team has honestly everything, right? Like he's scored all the goals, he's gotten a vast majority of the KOs, and speak of the devil, Apalme using that core flip, hitting that one into the top of the net, and ending our match as we have tied at 1-1 Oxygen Overdrive, Goats Esports, both picking up 1 point respectively.
Yeah, and you know that Julie heart that Apollo popped at the end. That's not like a friendly GG. That's like a smile. Like when you say smile actively. It was like a GG smile moment. I think he's definitely feeling himself after that one. I mean, look at that. 10 goals from the side of a Palmy. My god, 11 KOs. This man was absolutely on a rampage the entire game, I fear. This man got activated. I think the red tape activating kind of his Matador lineage right there. I don't know if he actually has a Matador lineage. I just made that up on the spot. But that was crazy from him. Absolutely outstanding performance from him and the rest of his team, Goats Esports.
Yeah, and look, you look at the Juliet, and my God, he used that super surge to literally all of his advantage as much as he could in that match. And you know what was interesting to me? He picked up that twin drive. I don't remember if it was an infinite or not, but I know he wasn't like first in line for what the quote unquote best Julie training would be in that carousel. So the twin drive was very much I don't really have anything left to pick, so I'm gonna pick this up. And you know what? Hey, maybe he was gunning for it. Maybe he was going, oh, if I'm first in this carousel and I see this twin drive, I'm taking it with the super surge. So I'm not entirely too sure. I don't know, but hey, it worked out for him, right?